Generally speaking, in Japanese political families, the heirs are children born with a silver spoon in their mouths, like former Prime Minister Shinzo Abe, who inherited his political assets from his father, Shintaro Abe. Alternatively, they would choose an excellent son-in-law to inherit the family's political assets, as Shintaro Abe inherited his political assets from his father-in-law, Nobushi Kishi. However, in the case of the Horiuchi family, the daughter-in-law, Noriko Horiuchi, inherited the political assets. How did this happen? The key figure of the Horiuchi family, Mitsu Horiuchi, was not only the chairman of the Fuji Kyuko Group but also highly influential in Japanese politics. He served as Minister of International Trade and Industry, Minister of Labor, and held important positions within the Liberal Democratic Party, including chairman of the General Council. With strong support within the party, he even established the Horiuchi faction, making it the fourth largest faction within the LDP. Like a traditional Japanese patriarch, Mitsu Horiuchi placed great importance on his son's marriage, as marriage was seen as a way for two families to form an alliance and achieve mutual benefits. After careful consideration, he chose Noriko Horiuchi as his son's bride. At that time, she was still known as Noriko Kobayashi. Noriko Kobayashi came from an aristocratic background. Her family ranked among the top 10 in Japan, with members spread across various fields, many of whom held significant government positions. Her ancestors included highly distinguished figures, most notably her fifth-generation ancestor, Kubo Toshimichi, a key statesman of the Meiji Restoration. He served as the Minister of Home Affairs during the Meiji era, a position that, at the time, held authority comparable to that of a prime minister, as Japan had yet to establish the office of prime minister. Her grandfather, after being adopted into the Kobayashi family, became a prominent figure in Japan's financial sector. Following the end of World War II, he founded the Japan Development Bank, solidifying his influence in economic affairs. Additionally, it is worth mentioning that Noriko was also a descendant of Junko Makino, the court lady notorious for bullying Empress Michiko in her early years at the imperial court. When Noriko Kobayashi, born into an aristocratic family, turned 20, it coincided with the Imperial Household Agency's search for a bride for Crown Prince Naruhito. As a result, she, along with other daughters of prestigious families, was included in the list of candidates. Given her family's immense wealth, high social status, and noble lineage, Noriko Kobayashi easily passed the initial selection and made it onto the official shortlist. At the time, Naruhito's bride selection was one of the most closely followed topics in the media. As a result, the backgrounds of the shortlisted candidates were thoroughly investigated and scrutinized by the press. The list included notable figures such as Fuyuko Tokugawa from the Tokugawa family and Haseiko Shibusawa, the great-granddaughter of Eiichi Shibusawa, the man featured on Japan's new 10,000 yen banknote. These young women came from distinguished lineages, and many of their families were interconnected through marriage. For example, the Kobayashi family had long established a familial connection with the Ise family through marriage. Within the Ise family, one woman had already successfully married into the imperial family, Princess Tomohito of Mikasa, formerly known as Nobuko, as before her marriage. Had Noriko Kobayashi been chosen as Naruhito's bride, she would not only have become the first princess in her family but, given that Naruhito was the heir to the throne, she would have eventually risen to the status of empress upon his ascension. However, despite her impeccable lineage, Noriko Kobayashi was not particularly outstanding in terms of appearance. In fact, among those who made it onto the official shortlist, few were considered exceptionally beautiful. Although the Imperial Household Agency's bride selection process was highly publicized and conducted with much fanfare, none of the candidates caught Naruhito's eye. In the end, he chose a woman who was not on the official list at all, a commoner, Mosoko Owada. After failing to be selected as the Crown Prince's bride, Noriko Kobayashi continued her university studies. Around this time, the elders of the Horiuchi family were searching for a suitable match for Koichiro Horiuchi. As a result, with the arrangement of both families, Noriko Kobayashi married Mitsu Horiuchi's only son, Koichiro Horiuchi, after graduating from university. Following tradition, she changed her name to Noriko Horiuchi. Koichiro Horiuchi had no interest in politics and was fully dedicated to managing the family business. He even made significant sacrifices for its growth. One of the most direct sacrifices came during the COVID-19 pandemic. While Fuji-Q Highland remained open, the park implemented a series of strict measures to curb the spread of the virus. These included requiring visitors to wear masks and even instructing them not to scream while riding attractions. Many visitors complained that the rules were too strict and impossible to follow. To implement the measures, Koichiro Horiuchi took the lead. Together with the president of Fuji-Q Highland, Daishi Iwata, he put on a mask and personally demonstrated how to ride a roller coaster without screaming. During the ride, both executives sat upright and silent. At one point, Koichiro Horiuchi even gracefully adjusted his mask. At the end of the video, he reminded everyone, "Scream in your heart. There's no need to shout out loud." Once the video was uploaded to the internet, it quickly went viral and attracted numerous comments from online users. Amidst the laughter, many commented, "The scene is so surreal, and actually, President Horiuchi was just too scared to scream." However, once people learned that Koichiro Horiuchi had acrophobia, they were even more impressed by his professionalism and courage. Although Koichiro Horiuchi was very dedicated to the family business, he never showed any interest in politics, which greatly troubled Mitsu Horiuchi. After all, he had only one son. If no one were to inherit his political assets, the future development of the family would be severely impacted as the political assets faded away. After much thought, Mitsu Horiuchi decided to have his daughter-in-law, Noriko Horiuchi, inherit his political assets. After being pushed onto the political stage, Noriko Horiuchi proved to be highly capable. At the age of 47, she was elected as a member of parliament. In 2021, after Fumio Kishida became Japan's prime minister, Noriko Horiuchi entered the cabinet for the first time, taking on the role of a minister in charge of a specific portfolio. Given Japan's long history of political discrimination against women, it is rare for women to enter politics, so Noriko Horiuchi's appointment as a cabinet minister became a point of pride for many Japanese women. However, since Japanese politics is still largely a male-dominated arena, opportunities for her to fully demonstrate her political talents were limited. Interestingly, although Noriko Horiuchi was not chosen as a crown princess, her son, Mototeru Horiuchi, was rumored to be in a romantic relationship with Princess Kako, the niece of Emperor Naruhito. Mototeru was a classmate of Princess Mako, Kako's older sister, at Gakushuin. When the news of Kako and Mototeru's relationship broke, some praised her for being more sensible than her sister Mako, noting that she knew how to choose a suitable match from a prestigious family. Others sarcastically pointed out that their mother, Princess Kiko, had once again shown her competitive streak. While Mako's marriage was delayed, and another royal princess, Ayako, married a highly praised gentleman, Kiko insisted on finding an even better match for Kako. Originally, being of noble descent, it would naturally be a great honor to be associated with the imperial family. For a long time, Noriko Horiuchi refrained from commenting on the rumors about her son and the princess. However, after the scandal involving Princess Mako's fiancé broke, Noriko immediately denied the relationship publicly. She stated that her son and Princess Kako had never even met, so how could there be any romantic connection? She also mentioned that her son, Mototeru, was already working in Singapore and was not even in Japan, so how could he possibly be in a relationship? Noriko Horiuchi's denial surprised many people. After all, the opportunity to be associated with the imperial family is a rare and desirable thing for any noble family, and it is unusual for someone like Noriko Horiuchi to be so proactive in clearing up rumors about her son and imperial family member. Noriko had her views when it came to the marriages of her children. As everyone knows, Princess Kako is the daughter of Prince Fumihito, Crown Prince Akishino. As previously mentioned, Kako's elder sister, Princess Mako, chose to marry a commoner, Kei Komuro. However, Komuro's mother was involved in scandals related to alleged fraud and insurance fraud, which led to strong public opposition to Mako and Komuro's marriage. Despite this, Princess Mako insisted on staying with Kei Komuro and dismissed the public's objections as slander and defamation. As a result, public sentiment toward Prince Fumihito's family grew increasingly negative. A prestigious family with a clean background would naturally be unwilling to get involved in the imperial family's controversies. This is why Noriko Horiuchi denied the rumors about her son and Princess Kako. It is evident that although Noriko Horiuchi had limited opportunities to make a mark in politics, she nonetheless possessed the instincts of a politician. She clearly understood that for the long-term prosperity of her family, it was crucial to avoid any potential stains through marriage alliances. This also demonstrates that Mitsu Horiuchi's decision to have his daughter-in-law inherit his political legacy was indeed a wise choice.